Hey y'all, happy Thursday. It's Jacob with the Daily Shortcut. Just back to share very briefly what I learned in my mentoring session today. And they're always just so timely for me. I'm cracking up. I've been talking to you guys about some things that I've been, planning. I'm not getting too much into detail here, but, I've been planning to move some things with my websites. I've been streamlining my business and my life so that it's okay for me to continue, doing all the things that I want. And sometimes, when you find yourself in between decisions that need to be made, it can be a painful feeling, when you're kind of playing the hokey pokey with yourself, and it's like you put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, and you're in, you're out, you're trying to make decisions, and it's such a drain on energy. I've actually had to just cut off things that have constantly kind of jarred me like that. You can be around situations, people sometimes where they are playing the hokey pokey with themselves, and it's you're literally on their merry-go-round. And so, sometimes it's when you're making decisions, it can feel like that too, where it's just, a little discombobulating. And so today's message was really kind of about that in a different way. My mentor called it the water slide. It's really about going all in your life. And he was talking about how, he lives up in Utah, and that's not far from me here. They're mountainy areas, and sometimes the nights get really cool. And he had taken his kids to a water park, and he was talking about how, he kind of stuck his toe in one of the pools when, the night started coming, and the pool was a little cold, but what was really very cold was that now that the wind was blowing and he'd taken his foot out and the kids were splashing him with water, it literally felt like stabby icicles, hitting him because of the wind. And then he's got this little 7-year-old son that's like, hey, Dad, will you ride the slide with me? And he's not going to tell his kid no. He wanted to ride the slide with his kid, so he climbed all the way up to the top, and he's thinking, I don't know about this, because all the way up to the top, all the places on his body that were wet were just getting hit by all this wind, and it was just like being stabbed. And he's making this decision to, am I gonna get in the water? And he gets up to the top, he takes the slide, and boom, you're all in. And he said that, it was kind of a shock to the system, but it's like you feel more comfortable all in. And the water was warmer. He felt warmer inside the cold or cool pool with the cool air blowing all around him because his body was in the water. He was all in. And so really reminds me of just, things that I've had to do anytime that I've agonized over decisions or waffled or vacillated. That's the worst part. It's such a drain on your energy. And, I've been talking a little bit about energetic vampirism. Actually, yesterday's message on here was kind of about that. I feel like there are certain situations we can put ourselves in that create cycles that it's kind of almost like a mechanistic situation you put yourself in where it's automatically sucking energy from you just to be in it. And there's certain systems in the world that are just designed for that based on the old paradigm. I'm not going to go off onto the diatribe here about money and the financial systems and all that. I'm saving that for my blog and for my actual subscribers that are moving with me as I transit to a cloud. I've been doing research on this, so I'm going to just tell you how it relates to me. I've been planning to migrate things from my business and streamline some things so that I can continue to do things in a way that contributes to me, that doesn't feel like stabby fucking icicles, taking shots at me. And I think that that's what psychics are like. And when I observe different situations and things, I see it a little different as somebody that's, an intuitive with the kinds of gifts that I have. And it's interesting, some of the things that I notice just by being places. I'm somebody that can touch things and see it and stuff. And so for me to be around situations where there is a predominant flow of energy, it's just kind of duh factor for me. And so I've been having some duh Jacob factor about, what I'm even doing here on YouTube for a while, and have been kind of planning to just move some things to a place that's more conducive to just the way I like to live my life. and feel good about the things that I'm doing and how I share something that's dear to me like spirit work. I'll tell you something funny. This is YouTube being a shit monster, by the way, too, or different people that are just trolling. I'll just tell you what happened to me the other day. I'd actually kind of just announced what was going on, and that, I'm in the process of migrating my websites, because on my cloud, I can host video on a virtual private server at much faster rates than YouTube, and upload my stuff instantly, and be able to share it and also protect it. When I had mentioned that I didn't like how some of the commercials and things had been inserted and some of the content, and how distracting it was, and these little freaking stabby icicle hooks of psychic attachment that are part of the old paradigm that's being kind of perpetuated here. As soon as I posted that, I got a spam message that came through from somebody with one of these porno websites that was trying to leave suddenly, as soon as I complained about it. Links, with comments on, on my page. And so it was just like, yes, it's just confirmation of what is here. And it's just such a diametric opposition to, what I'm even doing here. It's tacky, it's solicitous in a way that I just don't really approve of from my own content. So, I've been making this plan, and for me, I'm kind of realizing, when I saw this today, oh my God, have I been playing the hokey pokey with myself too long, putting myself through this here, putting my right foot in, putting my right foot out. And I just realized that, I'm going to feel a lot better and less drained when I just move my energy away from energetic vampires and psychic attacks that, happen, that people don't even realize are happening because of how normalized it is for us to be approached like that. So I'm just going to let you think about that too, because if you think about that, it might give you some clues about things that are happening in your world somewhere that don't really feel good, that you've just kind of gotten used to a little bit and maybe not realized how much of a drain it is. So, when you realize that, sometimes it makes it a lot easier for people to just take their energy and push in whatever direction is actually honoring their inner space. So no hokey pokey from this guy. I'm kind of a going all in person and going deep at that. I'm not somebody that's got like trivial friendships or anything like that. Friendships that I have in my life, they go deep. These are things that I've gone all the way in, and I would recommend to anybody that has superficial friendships and things that feel like they're taking more than they are reciprocating feelings of balance, harmony, love, positive mirrors, and sometimes a little tough stuff too. I mean, it's okay. I get a little frustrated seeing people in the spiritual community about it's love and light. It's love and light. It's just love and light. No, it's not. Sometimes it's a foot up your ass saying where you are, just because it's spiritual, doesn't mean that it's honoring you and your spirit and your inner light. And let us not forget, demons are spirits too. I grew up in a deliverance ministry, and demons are spirits too. And they have gifts too. And a lot of them are psychic vampires too. So we can get ourselves seduced into things, and we can also get ourselves used to being used in systems that it's just become normalized for us to feel like okay with whatever it is that's extracting that isn't also helping to normalize things and put positive energy back in, and to be, an honoring witness. So look around and see where you're planting your seeds. And if you're somebody like me that's, cautious about the things that you invest your time and energy into and what you agree to stand for just by your participation in them, you might find some ways that you can really relieve yourself. And I'll tell you what, I'm feeling really relieved at the fact that all of my content and things have been backed up, and that all I need to do is finish a migration and be done with this. And so, that feels really good to me. And, it's nothing, again, critiquing anybody here. It's just more about the system and how it operates, and just shit that I won't even put myself around. There's certain places I won't go in the world because I don't like the energy or the vibes or the way things are done. And unfortunately, that's kind of how I feel about allowing my spirit messages to be on YouTube much longer. So not playing the hokey pokey with myself, just using myself as prime example number one, because it's the walk that I walk. I'm just talking to you here because I'm being open. But anyway, I hope that that's helpful for anybody that's thinking about things, especially if it's been a big decision, something that maybe affects your livelihood or your business or your relationships. If it's something that you've been considering and it's like, oh, how do I do this? Am I in? Am I out? That's taking up a lot more energy than you probably want to be giving it. So I hope you'll think about that. If you're interested in the video that prompted me to even go here, I'm linking it below. Reach out if I can help you. I'm building a new economy for myself and a little bit of an ecosystem. People that have been watching me here, you're invited. And I got a bunch of messages yesterday I didn't respond to yesterday, but if you're seeing this, everything goes into the description box. So if you're looking for a way to get onto my private list, just click on my website, put your information in there, and you'll be informed when the migration is done. So take care, God bless. I'll see you guys soon for the Down and Dirty Daily.